Okay, so I've talked about the first three Pirates films, which I actually really like, and now we're at the point to where I don't want to talk about this movie. And there's a few reasons why, because when it really comes down to it, it's just not that good of a movie. That being said, let's talk about On Stranger Tides. Hi, I'm Jacob Suggs, and welcome back to another video. And today is the fourth installment in my Pirates of the Caribbean series retrospective, and that being said, we're talking about On Stranger Tides. Gee, it's not like I said that at the start of the video or anything. I think it's safe to say that by this point, you can tell that I'm not that big of a fan of this movie, but with all of that being said, there are things in On Stranger Tides that I really like. And you can kind of guess what they are. You have an interesting premise, you have Johnny Depp still nailing the part of Captain Jack Sparrow, you also have a really awesome score, and you have really cool designs, but all of that was carried over from the last three movies. So what does this movie add that's really new and groundbreaking for this franchise? Well, not much. Now, Gore Verbinski, who directed the first three Pirates films, had to back down from this one, so they brought in Rob Marshall. And if you look at director Rob Marshall's filmography, why would you hire this guy? I'm not saying that he's bad, I'm just saying that when you look at his filmography, it doesn't really sell the whole Pirates brand. He's more of a drama-esque kind of director. And the drama and the plot is good in this movie. There's just one problem. It feels lackluster and bland. I saw this movie in 2011 hyped out of my mind because, like I told you before, my family was really into the Pirates franchise. And I'll never forget us sitting down and watching the movie and the crushing disappointment that came with that. This movie is not bad. I don't think that any of the Pirates films are bad, but this movie's just incredibly mediocre. And I think it's safe to say that one of the reasons why is because your villain isn't as interesting as the previous ones in the franchise. Ian McShane is awesome as Blackbeard. The only problem is that Blackbeard isn't as menacing or threatening as Davy Jones, Beckett, or Barbossa. Like, we know there are bigger things out there in the ocean and in the world of the Pirates universe, so Blackbeard with a magic sword just really doesn't do it for me. Like, there's a scene in this movie to where he kills a guy by commanding a ship to shoot flames out the front to burn this guy's, like, rowboat, I guess. And it didn't do anything for me because the guy just isn't threatening in my opinion. You know why little Jacob was afraid of Davy Jones? Because Davy Jones actually pitched a threat to the crew of the Black Pearl. Blackbeard doesn't do that for me. In short, the series already peaked, and they were trying to make more money out of this franchise when I don't think that was the best idea. I mean, you have so much mythology and plot behind the last three Pirates movies, and this almost feels like a side quest. Like, you know in Skyrim how you have like this really vast environment, and whenever you play the campaign or main story for Skyrim, you're really sucked into it? And then after you beat the main quest and stuff in Skyrim, you have like the little mini side quests that keep like making, you know, one quest after another, and they're very repetitive and not as grand as the biggest quest that you've already ventured on. That's kind of how this movie is. If you don't play Skyrim, you're not going to know what I'm talking about, but I think you get the idea. The idea is that this movie just feels like a little side story, not something that's really going to play in the grand scheme of things. And then you have the whole Angelica and Jack love story thing, which kind of works, and Penelope Cruz is good in this movie, but then you have generic Christian guy and mermaid girl, and they're just basically discount Orlando Bloom and Keira Knightley. And I swear they are so flat and so bland in this movie, they really didn't do it for me. I could not buy into their love for a second. It's almost as bad as Anakin and Padme. The story is interesting and it seems like it could go places, and Johnny Depp's still great as Jack Sparrow. But Jack Sparrow can't carry an entire movie by himself. And that's why you have to have a good story, because you can have a great character, but if that great character isn't in an equally great story, it's not gonna work. I mean, they try to add new stuff, but you just get zombies, which that doesn't fit into this world at all. In short, I just think that this movie is a massive letdown. I like things in this movie. There's good performances, there's some good action scenes, like the London scene at the beginning of the movie, but overall, I don't know if I can recommend this one to you. I'd just say watch the original Pirates, films and just maybe go see the new one. I don't know how good it's going to be, but I'm about to go find out. Other than the mermaids and a few moments here and there with Jack Sparrow, nothing really stands out to me about this movie. And frankly, I don't like to give movies a score, but this is hands down one of the biggest 6s out of 10s I've ever seen in my life. So what do you think of On Stranger Tides? I know some people really like it, so do you love it? Do you not like it? Let me know down in the comments below. And as always, I'm FrameByFrame. Remember the name, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye guys.